Hello everybody, we're about to get started here on another Aurora 4X stream. Let me just finish getting set up here. Okay, so we played a bit more in between the time that I ended the last stream and this current state of the game. And I stopped playing, you see here, where we encountered some aliens in the nebula. So let's recap. Actually, there's not much to recap. Last time we tried to go in and engage the aliens, and we realized we were kind of technologically outmatched. And the problem is that our ships are both slower and have a shorter range than the enemy aliens, which, as you can imagine, is a pretty catastrophic combination. So our missiles only shoot out to about 110 kilometers, and the enemy was able to keep us, to basically kite us. And we also didn't have quite enough PD. Hey, Sheep Thief. We also didn't have enough PD really to withstand the barrage of enemy missiles. It was close. But not quite. There were also a few kind of control mistakes. We didn't set up our PD correctly for the first volley and things like that. However, one advantage that we have is that our ships are very small and so have a very small signature radius. And that means that unless we have our big active sensors on, the aliens couldn't actually see us and weren't firing on us. So we were able to retreat with all of our ships except for the frigate leaders, who had the sensors on them and therefore had the big signatures. So we've since been working on some upgrades. We've decided that we're going to go ahead and well, I played a little bit more off camera. So we actually completed ion engine tech. And I'm just getting a few more. I'm going to get fuel consumption 0.6 liters. And we're getting another engine multiplier here, 1.75. And that should give me, well, that's pretty revolutionary in terms of your Navy. You usually end up redesigning all your ships. So my goal is in this next series of ships to make them faster than these aliens. So they'll have to go faster than 6,100 kilometers per second. And we've also improved our sensor tech. And so we've actually already designed the new sensors. We're going to aim to be operational at about 200 million kilometers instead of 100 million. And yeah, I might even throw in a new design, maybe sort of a laser, maybe a frigate. I'd like to maybe put a spinal laser in a ship here. Part of the reason for that is that we've encountered the aliens in another system. So let me bring up the system, the galaxy map here. I've had to rearrange it. Oh, this is a new system as well. I had to rearrange it a little bit because of new discoveries. So, hang on, here we go. Line this up. Okay, so I rearranged things just to be a bit more on a grid. So we have this nebula here that we entered through Georgetown. And then we had the Layun system. But Tokyo system, which is the original system where we encountered the aliens, we've now discovered there's a jump point between Tokyo and Layun. And sure enough, the aliens are present in this system. which is... Oh, no, they're present in Banjul, not in Elayun. So they're present down here. And we were made aware of their presence because they just rammed us. Actually, what ship design? Was this the same ship design that they used? No, these are new ship designs that we've never seen before. The Enkeldorn and the Arend. Interestingly, we can see... interesting, we actually get more... So these are PD guns, I imagine. Well, anyway, so the thing about Nebula is that missiles don't work in Nebula, and these aliens were using missiles primarily, but they seem to be very aggressive, so not being able to use their missiles, they just decided to ram us, which is pretty extreme. They just... If you look at our events here, this wasn't too long. This was yesterday. I just left the game open, but it looks like they rammed us. What? This is the Jade. Oh, the Jade seems to have survived the hit. So it was doing a geo survey here. I mean, look, we'll give it orders to retreat, but it might. I think it's crippled. Let's have it jump. Oh yeah, so its engines are just. Yeah, here. Let's look at the damage control here. It lost its jump drive. It lost the sensors. It lost its engine. Yeah, it just got rammed. So it's gonna die in the next turn or so. Sheep Thief says, is there any information about what kind of aliens these are? What do they look like? What's their problem? Very good question. So in this game, there are two different kinds of aliens. There are sort of AI computer-controlled races that are similar in theory to your own civilization, and those are called NPRs. And you can choose to have a number of them already in game at the beginning. Usually you don't, because if they happen to appear in a part of the galaxy that you're not connected to with jump points, it's just going to take a lot of computational resources to run their empire, and they're never going to participate in your game until you connect with them. So most people have 0 NPR races. But there's a slider. You can determine the percentage chance that when you discover a new system, when a new system gets generated, it will look at where all the potentially habitable worlds are, and then there's a chance it will spawn in NPR race there. So those are called NPRs, and that's one type of alien race. Now there are also a few kind of special spoiler races, we call them spoilers in the community, that have sort of special mechanics, and those are not tied to a specific system. And there are sort of 3 different kinds of spoilers, and 2 of them are active in this game. So now, but I'm playing this game as though I don't know that there's such a distinction, right? I'm trying to roleplay this. So as far as we know, we were just started exploring out of Seoul. We went to the Tokyo system first, and we saw a bunch of wrecks out by the trinary here. Went to explore, and then got shot by aliens, and we discovered the same aliens in Yeren, which is where we had our battle in the last turn. We tried to clear them out of the Yeren system. And now we have detected them in the Banjul system. So as far as our civilization knows, these aliens seem to be very aggressive. They shot first. In fact, they're extremely aggressive because without missile weapons, they didn't just kind of stand off. They just went and rammed this ship right now. So they appear to be hyper-aggressive. Now, in terms of our political relations, this is what they look like. This was the randomly selected alien picture. You can see so you can attempt, if it's an NPR race, you can attempt to do some diplomacy with them. And you could even become sort of friendly and trade. The diplomacy is not super involved in this game, but it's definitely present. But these are clearly one of the spoiler races. It's just that in game, our civilization wouldn't know that there's such a distinction. So that's why I'm not like I'm trying to not use my knowledge of what the spoiler race is. So you can see that there's like never any chance of diplomatic solutions to this conflict. They're just here to kill us. So that's their problem. Yeah. Now, all right, I'll put the events back because this is what happened. Yeah, we just saw these new ships trying to ram us. Okay, let's get underway here. And we lost the... Yeah, okay. I don't think we're going to be able to go save the crew here. So, in the nebula, there are a few things that are special. First of all, shields don't work. Missiles don't work. Beam fire controls have their range... I don't know if it's their range, but their accuracy is severely limited. Let me double... I'm not sure if it's the range too. I'll have to double check that. And in general, sensors, like active sensors, have their range... active sensors have their range diminished by a factor... I mean, these penalties are proportional to the level of the nebula. So this is a level 5 nebula, so things would get like divided by 5. So pretty extreme. Pretty extreme penalties. And so the kinds of ships that we have set up, which are basically missile ships, are completely useless in the nebula. So I do have some thoughts about how we're going to... before I wasn't really thinking about how we were going to fight in a nebula, but now it's an issue because the aliens are in this nebula too. Which is why I'm investing a little bit in this laser tech. Because I think it would be a... if I was going to add another ship design to our fleet doctrine here, I think it's going to be a sort of laser gunship that's going to have a spinal laser and maybe one or two regular lasers. And it will obviously just be an effective gunship, but it can also provide a bit of area point defense, I'm hoping. Inactive research labs, I guess we're building more labs. And that ship design will also be useful for fighting in a nebula. So we'll consider that. Actually, you know, one thing we should think about then is getting a shipyard ready for it. Or you know what? Maybe I'm just going to retool. Well, see, the thing is, I kind of want to keep these shipyards around to quickly refit the old designs. I can afford. We're okay on workers on Earth. We can grab another shipyard here. Let's do that. We're building a bunch of mines to get our sorium production up, but let's on the side here. Let's just turn this down a little bit. And we'll just get ourselves another naval shipyard. Oh, shit, this was... Oh, wait, that tech was done, but in the Yaren system, one of my scouts is, something broke down. Yeah, they've been out here for a while. Let's get them back to Seoul. And then let's see... Yeah, we've got another scout detachment here. They're pretty fresh. Let's have these guys head out to the waypoint. These are passive sensor little scouts that are kind of keeping an eye out for the aliens and their movements. A bit of a picket that we have set up here. Okay, we finished engine power. I guess I'm only waiting for the last bit of engine tech, which is going to be fuel efficiency. I think it'll be done very soon. October, and we're in August. Okay, that won't be too long. I guess meanwhile, there is something else that I want to start working on. Which is going to be capacitor. This is very useful for increasing the rate of fire of our lasers. So this is going to be quite an extensive overhaul, and I figured I might as well do this on stream. Although this is some of the more nitty-gritty technical stuff, for those who are curious about the game or don't quite know how all these things works, I think going through some of the details of how you design ships is probably interesting, or at least informative. I hope it will be. And so we'll kind of go through the process together. September 9th, just a couple more turns here. Oh, we've also started colonizing. So you might have noticed on the galaxy map here, but we've stabilized some of these jump gates, and we've already started colonizing, and we've got our extra solar colonies on the Managua system. So in the Managua system, we let me just bring this up here. We kind of queued up 4 colonies here, although we don't intend to have people on this first colony. This will be just for automated mines. But these three planets are will definitely colonize with people on them, and we've just dropped a little bit of infrastructure on each of them, and also a garrison battalion, and so they can start growing on their own. I erroneously suggested last time that this one was so close to ideal, it could just we could just sneeze on it and make it terraformed. Actually, I've been adding oxygen, so this one had an atmosphere that was like 11% oxygen, 80% or like 90% nitrogen. The temperature is nice. It looked almost perfect, but actually the proportion of oxygen was okay, but the total amount wasn't enough. The atmosphere on this planet is just too thin. As you can see here, the atmospheric pressure is only 0.2. So we've just got to beef up this atmosphere. So we're adding a bit of oxygen, then we'll add some greenhouse gases, and we'll be good to go. There's already a terraforming base orbiting here, and it's getting to work. So we're starting this colonization effort. Okay, the Graf ship is in this system. Okay, it's in here. I think we need to... Alright, well, the Dorado is saying there's nothing to do here. Let's send it to Singapore to help finish the work there. Alright, in just a few moments, we should be... Oh, did I assign a terraforming governor to Managua? No, we did not. Ha. Okay. Also Luna lost their governor. All right. Well, let's see who our terraforming governors are and what they're doing. Okay, we still have Emma Cartwright and Ellis Kerr. Oh, because Ellis Kerr's on Ganymede. It's still a terraformer there. Okay, we can get Madeline Simmons here. Ship route to Managua. And let's assign somebody for, like, I don't know, wealth or pop growth or something. Or just wealth at Luna, sure. Because Luna's our research colony. Let's get a miner here on Halley's Comet. Okay. Oh. The aliens are moving around in Yaren. I had my ships come in at this waypoint. Maybe that was too close. Let's have the scouts move back. I mean, it's good to know the aliens are... It's good to confirm that the aliens are still there, but that feels a little too close for comfort. I'm going to have them move to waypoint 2. Oh, that's probably... I meant to have them at waypoint 2, but I moved them in too deep into the system. They might still go undetected. Again, these ships are only running passive sensors. Yeah, we're fine. And they are only 1,000 tons, so the aliens can't quite pick them up on their active scanners. Okay, so I think we're about to get our fuel efficiency tech. There it is. Okay, it's time to design our engines. And we need to do a bit of math first. So in our existing ships, for example, if we just... The ratios are the same on all my ships. So this ship was is a 2,000 ton ship, and it has 4 engines, and each engine is 400 tons. Is that true? 1,600? No, that doesn't make sense. That'd be like the ship would be all engine. There are 800 tons of engine total on the ship. 40% of the ship is engines. So each engine is 200 tons. And it's this one, the 40 EP, right? So there's a total of 160 EP pushing. There's a total of 160 EP pushing this 2,000 ton ship. And that results in a speed of 40,000 kilometers per second. Okay? Oh, great. Now we're going to get all the notifications. Sorry, guys. I'm on a screen capture, not on a window capture, so sometimes the notifications pop up. But thank you for the comments, by the way, on the streams that people have left even while they weren't watching live. Okay, so this power of engine, a total of 160 EP, is enough to get a 2,000 ton ship moving 4,000 kilometers per second. We want to move faster than 6,000. So if this was, if I used the same size engine, and if I had 4 engines that were each 60 EP, then we would be moving at 6,000. So we need to be a bit more than 60 EP on this size of engine, which we're going to have 4 times. So for example, so here, just to be clear, we had nuclear pulse engines before. I think our multiplier was very low, and this is what we had before. Yeah. Like this, right? Engine size 200 tons. This is the engine we had before. So now we're going to use ion engines. Better fuel consumption, the same size. See, already this is 60 EP. This will make our ship move at 6,000. But we want it to go faster, so we're going to increase the multiplier. And if I made this 80 EP, we would be going 8,000 kilometers per second. Now this is going to reduce our fuel efficiency by quite a bit. And so I might be happy just going like at a 1.5 multiplier, 72. This will make our ships, if we use this kind of configuration, our ships will, and the same ratio of engines, our ships will now travel at 7,200 kilometers per second, which is sufficient to deal with the threat that we're currently dealing with. So we're going to go and prototype a bunch of these engines. So we need a 200-ton version. I'm also going to make a... actually, let's just copy the versions that we have here. Let's go look. Okay, these are... Oh, the civilian sector has made commercial ion drives. But okay, we have... Oh, we need a size 4, a size 5, a size 8. We need the big commercial version, 2 big commercial versions. And then we need the fuel-efficient size 5. This is for the Grav survey ship. Okay, so that's what we need. So we just did the size 4. We need the size 8. We need the size 5. And then we need the new commercial. We need another size 4, but the fuel efficient version. So in other words, the down turn. There we go. Let's create that one. And then we need the big commercial versions, one of which is 25 hull size and the other one is 50 hull size. Okay, so let's queue up all of those at the Luna Labs. So a whole bunch of engines, but they don't take too long to research, so we'll just queue all of these guys up. Queue this up, queue this up, queue that up. Okay, the next thing we're going to need is a new missile engine. So let's do that. Now this one is going to be as overclocked as we can make it. And this is going to be a size 3 engine for our missiles. Let's create that. And for now, I'm not going to do anti-missile missiles, although we could, but their missiles are really fast. We're not going to deploy that kind of system yet. Let's queue that engine up as well. Power and propulsion. Okay. All right, we have our new engines. I think we already did the sensors, right? Let me just check. Yeah, I already designed these new sensors, so I'm going to go ahead and obsolete the old ones, just so they don't kind of clutter the list here. We don't need the ICBM launch controls, obviously. Oh, let's redesign. Let's get a new missile sensor here, an active sensor for missiles, that is. So a very low resolution sensor, meaning actually high resolution sensor. And it should detect these missiles. Well, let's have a small one here that detects them about. So actually, now I know that the missiles move. Okay, this is important. Now I know now that the missiles move at 35,000 kilometers per second. So in a 5-second time increment, they're going to travel over 150,000 kilometers. So we definitely need to spot them pretty far away. So let's do this. Let's do this. 250,000 kilometers as our new and improved ordnance tracking system. Let's go ahead and obsolete the last one. Yeah, it's actually much smaller. It's going to be much smaller than the old one and still just as effective. Okay. A new missile we'll design later, but because we have to wait for the engine, but we can design better launchers because we've made some improvements in that department. What are we currently researching in terms of missile tech? Oh, just Gauss stuff, yeah. So we can get some better launchers here. If anything, just more rapid launchers. Because we have reload rate 3, before we only had reload rate 2. We've also miniaturized them even more. So let's create this. And now let's queue up in the sensors. Okay, we can unassign some of these labs. Let's I guess we'll finish this because we're gonna need fire controls, but let's queue up the new missile sensor here. And let's get... We're actually gonna cancel this missile project here because we're gonna research the new launchers. Okay. We also want to redesign our turrets, our PD turrets. Let's wait a minute on that. Let's get this other stuff done. Okay, let's wait for some of that tech to come through. Okay, we actually finished the missile launcher, the new tech right away. Oh, because it's so easy. But the missile engines won't be done for a while. All right, fine. You can just go back to doing whatever you were doing before. We'll wait. I'm gonna try to do all the designs kind of at once. Or once we have all the proper components in place here. Obviously, we'll also refit all of our commercial ships. Okay, commercial drive is done. Got some jump points. Okay, we finished the geosurvey of Mercury. This is our ground-based geosurvey, but I believe we did not find anything interesting. Correct. So I'm going to go ahead and do a finish. I don't think I've done Venus yet. Incidentally, Venus does have some minerals, but they're very low accessibility. It's just iridium, but it's worth sending the team there to double check. In fact, we might create a second team, but let's have this first team take the troop transport, go to Mercury, pick up the team, then head to Venus, drop off the team. And you know what? We're going to get a second team going. And we're going to have the second team operate in our new colonies in the Managua system. Let's create a team here. So you don't actually have to use ships to move your teams around because the game allows you to just disband them and recreate them instantly wherever you want. But I think that's a little unrealistic. So I am using the troop transport to move a team around. But we're going to assemble the team on the spot here, and then we'll move it from here later on. So let's get a second geological team going here in our civilization. And this is going to be the Isaac Bryan geology team. And they're going to start working on Managua. In the Sol system, we just have Venus left, and then I think we'll do the other Jovians. The other Jovian moons and Titan. Okay, we finally finished the graph survey of Cygnus. Let's complete the survey in Singapore. One thing I want to remember to do is next time we finish a tech on one of the labs that was on Earth, we can now finally move our last labs off of Earth because we have enough scientists, we have enough population on Luna, enough workers to work all of our labs there. Okay. Yeah, let's go on from here to Singapore. Like so. So we just need a few more engines to be prototyped. I just realized somebody just pointed out in the Aurora Discord that the link I put for my stream was completely wrong. I had a typo in YouTube, and I did that the first time, and then I just copied it the second time. Not the first time, but yesterday on the stream. That was pretty embarrassing. So thanks to Neophyte in the Aurora Discord for pointing that out. Alright, fixed. Okay, alright, we added oxygen to Managua. This is Managua 2 here. So now we have enough oxygen. We just need to bring up the greenhouse gases a little bit. Maybe we need a little bit more than 0.1. We need about 0.11 safe greenhouse gases. Let's start with that. Thanks, Cliff. Yeah. Okay, engines. Active sensors, good. Yeah, that was dumb. I mean, people will figure it out, but I figure sometimes people might just be too lazy. They'll click it doesn't work, and then they'll just move on to something else. Oh, that was quick. I wasn't expecting this Venus geosurvey to be done so fast. So they did find something, but it's not much and it's not very useful. Not this. On Venus, we found a bit of Sorium, but it's not very accessible. It's not a lot. So nothing on Venus. Let's pick up the team and let's send them over to Io and Callisto. We'll do, I guess, Io first. We finished that naval shipyard. Let's start growing it a little bit, and then we'll reassign that productivity here. You know what? I'm going to use the civilian sector to move these automated mines to Halley's Comet, because it takes a lot of fuel on my tankers to do that, and I want to be bothered. Okay, research. Still got a few drives to finish. Oh shit, I didn't assign this. Iridium. Whoop. the GV Iridium, the GE Iridium was... Oh, wait, why are you surveying in here? No, there are aliens in the system. Please, get out of there. That is a bad place to be. Okay, we finished some sensor tech here. We are actually going to... Yeah, we need beam fire control range. That's exactly what I was thinking. And let's queue that up. Yeah, Cliff, that's the idea in this new system in Managua. And we also have a bunch of terrestrials in some nebula, which have like epic deposits, but a lot of the different minerals have low accessibility. So we're working on... we're going to put geoteams on all those planets. Like if you look at Managua itself... Here, let me bring it up. Right? Like if it finds anything here that increases the accessibility, that's going to be a great find. Okay, the crater. Oh, that must have been a refit. So let's all right, let's look at the map here. Where do we want to send this? I think we need to go. We need to push here. So let's go to either Ankara or Budapest. Send you to Ankara. All right, sodium shortage. This is expected because I multiplied the number of fuel refineries. I built like 400 fuel refineries, which is way more than what my thorium mining income can handle. So this is no need to panic. This is what I expected. We're gonna pause thorium refining here for a moment, and I'm actually waiting to ship off all these mines. Actually, could do it. Let's just have the civilian sector do it. Let's supply 100 mines to Ganymede. Which already has... Oh, Ganymede already has a number of mines. Europa could use a few more. Well, we'll send these to Ganymede first. Yeah, because this is where we're getting our thorium from. If we look at thorium here in the Sol system, we've got some on Mercury too. Actually, there's a strong civilian mine presence there, and then Ganymede and Europa. We do actually have... There's a gas giant in Managua that has perfect accessibility thorium, and so we're gonna build a thorium harvesting base there. What? Oh, shit. Yeah, this is the... right, I must have earlier, a long time ago, queued up a geosurvey ship to come here, and then like a few time increments ago, I told them, oh no, you shouldn't be here, get out, and I told them that, but they got rammed anyways. So we're going to chalk that up to commercial ships being too greedy and not following the directives of the sort of central government, telling them that this system is off limits due to dangerous aliens. Okay, we're still working on these drives. Let's ship this lab over to Luna right away. Moon Labs, Moon Lab. And let's get these engines done. Okay, we stabilized the gate to Ankara. Let's go back through Port Louis and then let's stabilize to Budapest. These are actually pretty these two systems are actually pretty mediocre, but we'll still do them. We'll still stabilize our access to them. Okay, we're almost done with all these different engines that we're prototyping. I could start redesigning the ships once I have their engines, but it'll just be easier to get all. I just want to get all the tech underway. Also, because I queued the missile engine at the end, which was pretty dumb. I know I already redesigned a new active sensor. I'm not sure if I redesigned the new missile fire control. Yes, I did. 228. So above 200 is the range we're going to want on this missile. Okay, we got a shipyard done here. I'm not sure this little laser destroyer that I'm planning to build. I'm not sure what size it'll be. It might, if I can fit it in a small 2000 frame, just like the Seychelles missile cruiser, I'll do that. But in any case, I'm going to want multiple slipways, so I'm going to start adding extra slipways. But if I choose, maybe I choose to make it a bigger ship, like maybe 4,000 tons or something, so we'll see. For now, we'll expand the slipways. Okay, finally we're onto the missile engine. Finding a bunch of jump points in Taipei. And done, finally. Okay, let's oh shit. Oh, the jump tender here, who's been just chilling forever. These guys need to get back and get repaired. Okay, let's design finally our new missiles. Now that the missile engine is done, missile design here. I categorized this as the augury, so we're going to make a new version. It's going to be much better than the old version. So this could be roughly like this, I think. Oh, is my numlock not on? There we go. So it's good at hitting low targets, slow targets, not very good at hitting fast targets because the agility is pretty low, but I want the fuel, I want this range on it. So we kind of don't have a choice. I guess the issue here is that I still have a pretty low MSP damage multiplier, so I have to devote a lot of the missile space to the warhead, but this is good enough for now. I'm just gonna rename this. Instead of just a generic size 6 anti-ship missile, we're gonna do size 6 ASM, 2100 kilometers per second, just so I know what kind of missile it is. And we are going to add it to that series. Okay, so on Luna, let's get a missile scientist to prototype this missile. What? I thought I just did that. Oh, I must have canceled somebody else's research project. Oops. Whose project did I cancel by accident? Well, whatever. Let's get this engine tech working gradually on these jump efficiencies. They don't matter. They're not a priority for us right now, but it'll be good to do. Why do I have Ben Goddard doing genome seq? What? That makes no sense. Must have queued that up at some point by accident. Ben Goddard was our defensive specialist and our shield guy. You know, one thing I kind of want him to do, but this is more of a vanity project than anything else. I do want to I'm not going to invest heavily in this, but this is something that I think in terms of role-playing would be cool. So let's cue this up again. Okay, so all right, we need to start doing designs here. Okay. I guess we're just going to go down the list alphabetically. So first of all, obsolete the Afghanistan class. We're going to rename this the Afghanistan Ion 6. Okay. And in the design view, you're going to lose these engines. This is the jump frigate, and it's 5,000 tons, so it needs... Oh, I need to, hang on. We need to obsolete the old engines, because otherwise It's going to be way too crowded in that list. So anything that is nuclear pulse, obsolete, obsolete, obsolete. Good. Okay, where were we? Okay, that's about right. Interestingly enough, the engines are a bit more complicated, and so they're boosting the crew requirements by a little bit. So we might have to play with the fuel capacity here. To get like the exact same size that we had as we had before. Now, you know what? This actually doesn't need to have armor. Really. I guess this will make it go faster in the nebula, but this ship is not really involved in the fighting. It's just a jump tender. We'll give it to... No, we don't. It just doesn't need armor, guys. It just does not. And instead, we're going to give it sort of more, I think, a longer deployment. This ship will be uniquely designed to have a longer deployment time, because I do kind of want them to stick around for a while. Let's have this one set up for like a 4-year mission here. And let's give it a bit more fuel. Well, we could top off the fuel at the end. Let's give it a damage control. And then let's top... The damage control, no. It's not going to fight. If this thing fights, we're in trouble. Do we stick a maintenance storage bay? That's not a crazy idea. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Just a few extra supplies. It can kind of double as an extra source of supplies if ships are in trouble. Okay, I like this. This is our new version of the jump frigate. Okay, the construction ship. We don't really need to modernize this. We're just gonna keep it as is. Okay, the Canada class. This is our geosurvey ship. Let's go ahead and I guess we could modernize it, although we don't. It's not a super big priority to refit it, but we can give it the new engines. So instead of the 80 EP commercial drive, we'll give it the 120 EP commercial drive, right? Yeah, that's it. It's just faster. Oh, no, this is what we're going to do, though. Oh, shit. Now the jump engine is too small. No. I think we need to... So I want to increase the armor rating so it can go faster in the nebula, but then the jump engine is too small. We could pull back on fuel. No. Oop, I took off the engineering space. Okay, no, let's not do that. This is not a huge priority. Sorry, I just got a message here. This is actually not a huge priority. I'm gonna wait, and maybe I'll wait to miniaturize the jump drives a little bit more, and then I'll refit this. So we're gonna put this one on hold for now. We'll put that design modernizing on hold. The terraforming base doesn't need to change. Okay, the Estonia. This is our microwave gunboat. We haven't improved our microwave gun technology, but we have better fire controls theoretically. So let's actually design a better beam fire control. So if we look at our microwave tech, it's actually high power microwave right here. The range and size of the gun was basically a function of the limited space on the FAC, but we can do a better beam fire control. Oh, but we're still researching that, right? Yeah, we're still getting the fire control range done. So let's, we'll hold off on that redesign for a moment for the Estonia. The Tug. Yeah, we'll go ahead and redesign this just to have the better engines. I don't know if we'll refit the old ones, but we might choose to do that. 4, 5, and then let's get these big beefy engines here. Okay. So let's obsolete the old one. Next, the Kazakhstan. This is a fuel tanker, so we could definitely update the engines on this one. How many? I think it had 2 engines, right? Oh, but it's the big ones. It's the big boys here. There we go. Okay. I can't. I was thinking about increasing the armor to make it go through the nebula faster, but the jump drive is not big enough. I could take a bit of fuel out now. We'll just keep it like this. Okay, and then we can obsolete the previous one. Oh, let's make sure this one is set as a tanker. Good. Okay. The Latvia, this is one of the passive sensor ships, but we have to redesign the passive sensors, and I also am thinking about making the engines thermally damped, so we'll hold off on those for a moment. The Malawi is the Collier. We can certainly, we'll need to improve its engines, and we'll also need to reassign its missiles. So let me just wait until I get the missiles researched so I can do it all at once. Okay, the Frigate Leader. This one needs a lot of changes. This is one of the most important ships in our fleet, so we need to pay special attention to how we're going to do this. And in fact, I do need to wait for another tech here. This is something I should queue up right now. Because we were using shields on this ship, and we have better shield tech. So I want to just get better shields on here. So let's actually pause on this idea and get this new shield system up and running. But we will we'll keep the old shields for now. Okay, so first things first, new engines. Yeah, we'll have to adjust the size a little bit. Okay, next, we decided we were not going to have any PD on this vessel anymore. because we were going to add a few more systems. So first of all, we need to get the new active sensors. Done. Next, we needed damage control. Done. Okay, so we're gonna get better shields on here, I think. Now, was there anything else that we had discovered we absolutely needed? So this ship is always the target. And so I'm thinking, well, yeah, I'm thinking we're just going to boost its armor even more. But let's see how the exact new weight comes in when we have the new shields on this design. So that's the basics for now. I might want to boost its fuel a little bit, maybe not, we'll see. So for now, that'll do. Okay, the missile frigate. Needs a few new things. So first of all, engines. Then the missile fire control. Then the launchers. That's pretty good. We need to tweak the size. Oh yeah, that's good. We can do like just adjust the fuel a tiny bit here. Yeah, that came out nicely. Now I just need to update the ordnance once we research the new missile. So we'll get back to that in a second, but that's pretty good. Okay, the Sri Lanka is our grav survey ship. I'm not going to touch this yet. I'm going to wait to miniaturize the jump drive a little bit more. This is our other passive scout. We're going to wait until we have to get better. We have to update the thermal sensors, and I want to silence the engines a bit. Okay, now here we need a few more bits and pieces before we can update this ship. We need to redo the fire controls and everything, so that's still upcoming. Now the freighter, that's something we can handle right now. So let's do that. Let's copy a new design. And get the new engines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one thing I am going to do here is I'm going to put armor on these. And that is so that they can go at their maximum speed in the nebula. So in a nebula, for example, the maximum speed is 500 kilometers per second per armor level. And so as we are going to be living part of our civilization is going to be living in this nebula, I need my commercial ships to be able to travel at not a terrible speed. So we are actually going to add some armor to these freighters, which slows them down only a tiny bit, but it means they'll be able to go through the nebula much faster. Now I'm also tempted to increase the range on these guys. The fuel. Just because sometimes we're going to have these operations. We're going to need to ship stuff at a longer distance. So I actually am going to double their fuel capacity. Just to sort of future-proof things a little bit. So that's it for the freighter. And let me just do the colony ship right now, because it's going to have the same changes. Which is to say we're going to have 3 armor. I'm going to get the new engines. Like so. Okay, now let's go back. We have the Uruguay. This is our troop transport. We don't currently have a shipyard for this, but we'll redesign it anyways. Just give it new engines. And you know what? Let's give it the same armor treatment here. I don't think I obsoleted the old one. There we go. The Yugoslavia, this is an asteroid miner. We don't need to modernize that. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that got done here. There's some shipyards that we can already start retooling. So, for example, the tankers. We can retool. The colony ships and freighters, we can retool. I'm tempted to refit my tugs, but that's a lot of engines. But you know, we're going to be pumping out more stations. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it, guys. Let's retool this back to the tugs. And was I completely finished with any of these other designs? The jump frigate, I think we were okay with this, right? I think the jump frigate is good. Let's retool the jump frigate shipyard. And then the frigate leader. I was waiting on the shields. Okay, so we're waiting on a few other things for the other vessels, but we can start retooling those things for now. Okay, let's just assign orders to the GE Iridium. Yes, I had just sent you here temporarily, but really I wanted you to go on to Lima. All right, and now in terms of research, did we assign all the labs? Yep, okay, we're good. Okay, we finished the graph survey in Budapest. So we can go and explore that jump point further. Okay, we finished the missile research. So actually, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just queue up a bunch of missiles because we need to build them. So let's get like a bunch of missiles built. Now we can go to the collier. Okay, yeah, let's redesign the collier here. Obsolete this. Copy design, rename Ion 6. Okay, it had... Oh, it was using one small commercial engine, I believe. Yeah, that's about right. And the only thing we need to change here is the ordnance. We just need to switch it for these guys. And tell them it's a collier. Okay, good. And then the seashells, we also need to do the same thing here, which is to say that. And before I forget, let me just go here and obsolete the old missiles. I guess the old missile engines too. But more importantly, these, well, the conventional ICBMs certainly we can obsolete. But this one, let's obsolete this one as well. Okay. Any other missile ships that were in service? No, not really. Okay, so now we can go into our fleet, into our shipyards here, and retool these shipyards. And same thing for the seashells here. Retool for the seashells. Okay, good. Alright, what shall our missile specialist focus on next? I think we were kind of gradually working up in missile and kinetics, but we don't need to rush that. We got a lot of fire controls that we need to figure out, so let's prioritize that. Hey Cokes, good evening. We're just in the middle of a big Navy redesign. Okay, looks like we retooled the tanker shipyards. So we actually have a bunch of tankers, but they were out in the boonies. Let's get them back to Earth. And in fact, I'm going to go and recall all the tankers, even the ones that were forward deployed, and we're just going to refit all of them. So there are a few other tankers here that are just kind of out and about. Yeah, here we go. Just going to get everybody back to Earth here. Brussels. Some of them might already be at Earth. I'm not going to go check individually. This one definitely needs to head back. Okay. Oh, yes, I should probably actually tell the shipyard to start refitting ships from the Kazakhstan MP7. We have 2 that we can get started on right away. Okay, geosurvey on Io. It looks like it didn't find anything, which is not surprising, but you never know. So let's get the troop transport to pick up the team on Io and drop it off on Callisto. And then we finished retooling the Collier's shipyard. So let's refit the Malawi class here. Let's get those done. Okay, the tankers are back at Earth. Okay, this won't take too long here with the colliers. There aren't that many of them. And it's not a huge refit. Okay, the shields are done. The latest version of the shields, and our currently it's only our frigate leader ship, the Nigeria class, that is using shields, and so I want to update its shield. So currently we have this many shields. Let's remove those. We had 5 times the R400 336, and I think our latest shields are slightly better. Oh, we need to refresh the tech here. Wait, what? Right, Delta is better than Gamma. Greek alphabet for the win. Okay. Yes, our Delta shields here. Good. So yeah, these are slightly better. So 2, 3, 4. And let's get our Delta shields. Good. Oh, in fact, they're a little smaller, so we can pack a little bit of extra fuel, maybe? Okay, there we go. This is the new, this is the latest Nigeria class. Now we can officially refit the shipyard. Retool the shipyard. Refit the ships. Okay. Let's obsolete the old shields before we get too confused. And then let's reassign. Let's get the scientist to work on this little pet project. Only with a couple of labs. We're going to need to prioritize some sensor tech right now. Oh, we finished these lasers here, but before we move forward with that research on Earth, I want to move these labs to the moon. So we've got 5 available labs. We're just going to ship those to the moon. We've got a task group set up to do just that. So Moon Labs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need one more time. That should do it. Okay, and we got another collier done. Let's refit another one. Done. Do you know where the alien came from? Well, we first encountered them, so I know as a player what they are, but our civilization are still kind of a bit clueless as to what's going on. We first detected them in the Tokyo system. Then we found them in the Yaren system. But now we've also found them in the Banjul system. So they're somewhere here. That's all that our civilization kind of knows about them. Okay, these are tankers. So let's keep refitting our old tankers. We're gonna start. Yes, we were gonna work on some lasers here. Oh, but I don't have the capacity recharge. Okay, so a few things. We wanted to upgrade our PD turrets. Now, we don't. The focal size. It doesn't really matter. Oh, sorry, just a moment. Okay. For PD, the focal size really doesn't matter. We want the fastest rate of fire, but the truth is, missiles don't come at every 5 seconds, so we could have a slower rate of fire. But the extra damage output just makes the gun bigger, and we don't want that. So we're gonna stick with this. Now we could update the lasers to have longer range, but I'm still only gonna fire on final fire, so this doesn't really matter. They cost more. I think we're just going to stick with the same shitty old lasers for the PD system. However, we want to make a kind of gunship here. So we definitely want to consider something like this. Now it takes... Oh, actually, this is not bad because it only takes... So the power requirement here is 9. So it's going to recharge in 15 seconds anyways. That's perfect. Now, if it wasn't a spinal... Yeah, okay. We don't actually need that cap recharge until we go to the higher levels of lasers here. Okay, this kind of works. Okay, that works. So that means that here, my energy weapons research projects can just, yeah, we can just basically get the actual guns prototyped here. And then we can move on to something else. Okay, let's, we're still moving some labs around, so let's add those labs here. We refit another collier. Let's queue another one up. Whoop, wrong screen. And we also finished retooling the missile frigate. So we need to... Yeah. It's a pretty significant refit, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay, we're done. Okay, I think all the Malawis have been refit. Yep. Okay, so that is done, taken care of. We need to... actually, we need to unload all their old missiles and scrap them. Alright, where is the GE Iridium? It's in Lima. Oh shit, there's nothing to survey here. Wait a minute. I thought there... I must have misremembered. Oh, okay, the geosurvey is all done here. The geosurvey is all done through this whole space. We need to go to, like... We need to get these geosurvey ships out of the nebula, and they need to go out to, like... Port Louis and stuff. We have nobody up there. Okay. You need to go... this way, then Georgetown, Seoul, Managua, Port Louis. It's a long trip. Okay, we just unloaded a bunch of old missiles, and we're just gonna scrap these old missiles, and that will give us, let's, we probably have a bit of sorium that built up. Yeah, just a little bit. We can pause on. We don't have to, restart production right away. Okay, we discovered the Canberra system out from Budapest. Let's take a quick look here. Looks like a binary. Nice terrestrial. Not a lot of oxygen, but definitely could be colonized, could be terraformed. And then there's a binary with just a bunch of asteroids. How far away is the binary? Far. Not like insanely far. Okay, just kind of a small, not super interesting system. Retooling for Zambia. Okay, this is major. So now we can start to refit all of our freighters and colony ships. Speaking of which, I've forgotten, what are our freighters up to? What is the Seoul Cargo Task Force doing? Actually, I split it up into two task groups, if I remember correctly. We had Seoul Cargo, which is doing nothing. And I think we have Managua Cargo, right? Yeah. It's delivering infrastructure to the colonies in Managua. So we can definitely start refitting some of these freighters here. In fact, it would not be crazy to add a slipway here to make the refits faster. Now, just for... I'll do the colony ships first because there are fewer of them. Let's get that started. That was two more tankers that got refit. the Brooklyn and the Calais. Let's get more of them refit. Kazakhstan, the Camelot, and the Canberra. We just discovered a system named Canberra. Okay, we finished retooling for, I think this is for our jump frigates. Yep. So let's start refitting those. So the last major piece of tech that we're waiting on is, oh, we gotta bring this Grav survey ship back in because it broke its sensor and it can't fix its own sensor. So the last piece of tech that we're waiting for is some sensor technology to get better beamfire controls, and then we'll finish the last new designs for our Navy. There it is, beamfire control range 32,000 kilometers. Okay, so with that, first things first, I thought I had oh, maybe this is upgraded. So, yes, okay, it is. So first of all, we need a new PD beamfire control. So we need maximum speed. Now we can go up to 16,000 kilometers per second tracking. And the range is fine. In fact, we could even take a hit to the range. 50% accuracy at 16,000. Because this saves a whole hull size compared to normal size, normal range. How much accuracy do I gain from that? So if it's 50% at 16 at 10, which is when final fire is going to fire, it's gonna be like 60, 70-ish. Whereas here we're gonna be in the 80s or 90s. I think we take the extra precision here. I think we keep the normal range here. Okay, this is gonna be our new PD beamfire control. Now, we also need a beamfire control for our kind of new FACs and gunships. The tracking speed only needs to be as fast as the ship itself, which is going to be 8,000, but here we want the range to be as far out as possible, which is not very far, but this is the best we can do. So 4 hull size, that's huge. I don't think we can fit that on our FAC. How? Oh, no, we need 2 versions. Okay, so yes, we need this version for the gunship, but then we need a smaller range version. In fact, it could just be this kind of range, because the gun itself only has a 30,000 kilometer range. How big was the old... Let me just take a look here. How big was the old fire control? It was size 2. Oh no, this is the one. It was size 0.7? No. Oh, well, it's just such a bad... It's so bad. Okay, so that means we really don't have a lot of space, so we need to keep this very small. This is like double the size. we certainly can't afford to go beyond normal range. This will be a bit bigger. We'll have to make allowances elsewhere in the ship design. We'll see if we can afford that. So let's queue up these new sensor systems. Shouldn't take long to research. Oh, 22 research labs. Oh my god. Okay, queue that up. Yeah, the other thing we want to do is we need to get a new turret design that goes even faster to keep up with our improved tracking speed. Now, I might be able to go triples on these or quads. My current ship design. Let's look at the Trinidad and Tobago. Here it is. Trinidad and Tobago currently has how many of these do we have? 2 by 2. There's just not a lot of space on these ships. Alright, we'll stick with the twin designs for now. And let's queue that up after this. Energy weapons. Queue it up here. Oh. Okay. So the Tokyo aliens have decided to move to the Lagrange point here. Okay, this is a big development. For a very long... Since we have discovered the Tokyo aliens, they have always remained in orbit of the ternary star here, Tokyo C. But now they've made their trek across, and they've come to Tokyo B, and perhaps they're heading to the Lagrange point. And we've just picked them out with our scouts. So we need to get out of there, first of all. That's the first thing we need to do. And honestly, if they transit and follow us, we're going to be screwed. So we need to get some distance. I think we're just going to move right back to the Seoul jump point. And pick it there. And this gives us a new renewed sense of urgency here. Right. Just do that. We need to get our new navy up and running as fast as possible because now the aliens are on the move in Tokyo. Yeah, they transited. Now we got a bit of separation, but this is very close. I don't know if they might have picked us up on their active sensors. Oh, looks like no. Jeez. Okay, this is a good design. I'm really happy with these passive sensor scout teams. They're giving us very valuable intelligence, and we have so far completely evaded the aliens' detection just because it's such a small ship, and they happen to not have sensors designed with that resolution in mind. Okay, that's good news. So these guys survive. We're going to get them out of there. They're just going to pick it at around the Seoul jump point. Make sure nothing comes into the Seoul system. Oh shit, we've got the Garnet here. No, god damn it. No, why did I have this ship here? Okay, no, stop the auto turns. Okay. The G Garnet needs to get out of this system. I don't even remember why it's here. Okay, how are we going to get out of here safely? The aliens are somewhere here. I think we got to go to... we can go out through Elayun. Let's go around. We'll go this way, then to Georgetown, then back to Seoul. And then from there, we can go out to Managua and Balui. There. Okay. Meanwhile, there's like a grav survey ship that's just like, yeah, no problem. I got this, guys. No, you should get out of here too. What are you doing? Alright, you get out of here. Now, the grav survey ship we can send to like Colombo, I think. Yeah. Well, whatever, we'll do that. It'll ping us when it runs out of orders. Now, this is a bigger ship, but it's only 4,000 tons. So it's possible it won't detect us, but it's heading in this direction. So it might see us before the ship gets out of the area. So there's a risk that we lose the Garnet here, which would be unfortunate. Okay, we finished one of these fire controls. We'll just wait for all of those to be finished. Let's keep refitting the tankers here. Let's move this new lab, Moon Labs, to the moon, and we added a slipway to Power Shipyard. Oh yeah, we're still, this is going to be for our new gunships. Okay, got another lab on the moon. Let's assign it somewhere. Let's get these lasers done. Okay, so now we can, I think, finally update the Trinidad and Tobago. Let's rename this to the Ion 6. Let's get the new engines. This is wrong. Oh, no, it's because we're a little overweight. That's why. All right. Okay, first of all, we need to... Okay, let's replace... We need to refresh tech here. You know, before we do this, let's obsolete the old stuff so that we don't get confused. So we have new beam fire controls. Oh god. Okay, this is the old one. And this is the old one. Next, in lasers, these are new. this... shit. Doesn't have the tracking speed on this. That's dumb. So which one was bigger? Oh god. Okay, hang on. We need to kind of temporarily redesign one. If I do a twin with 1600, $7.82. Okay, that's the one. So this is the old one. Let's obsolete it. Okay. I got to pull away actually for a minute. This is a pretty good time though to wrap things up. I think we got to see pretty much every single ship refit. The only thing that's missing is the design for the new kind of laser gun boat. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'll do that design, and I might do a bit of off-screen sort of manufacturing, finish all the refitting, and I promise I'll keep the next engagement with the aliens for the next stream, which might be, I think, later tonight. But yeah, I think I'm going to turn off the stream for now. We have refit all of our ships, or we've redesigned all of our ships with our new ion engines, better sensors, and all that. And so next time, hopefully, we will be more successful when fighting those aliens. So I'll see you guys then. That's it for now. Take care.